Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Levittown Public Library Agoscu with Kimberly on Monday, August 16th, 2021. So take it away, Kimberly.
Thank you. That was very succinct. Good morning, everybody. We are going to do some Agoscu, which just means posture. Going to do some challenging stuff, strengthening stuff, but also some modifications for those of you that can't quite get there just yet. Hopefully one day we will get you there, but that's down to you guys. So we're going to start out with the real easy stuff. Nothing too terribly complicated. We are going to be using blocks today. Remember, all of these moves are designed to stimulate your body so your body can auto-correct itself. But that's important to remember that you live in your body. So if anything doesn't work out for you today, if something doesn't feel right, please stop the movement. So I've got a block. I want you guys, if you've never done this before, you're going to grab a pillow off your bed and you're going to fold it in half. See, there's a lot of resistance. If I were to squish this, it pushes back on me. So you want to have some resistance when we use it. The other thing we're going to use today is going to be a strap. Or for you who might be new, you're going to use a belt. You're going to take the belt off of your pants or your husband's pants or boyfriend's pants. No fashion belts and no PT rubber stretchy belts. You want something that has an awful lot of resistance so that when you push on it, it does not have any flex or give. You want a lot of resistance on that. The other thing we're going to be using today is going to be a chair or an ottoman. Some of you might have an ottoman, and we're not going to start out with this today, but you want your ottoman or chair to be about 24 to 26 inches in height. That's for when we do the laying down portion of our workout and our realignment sequence. We are going to start on the floor though today. Some of you might not be able to get on the floor. So if you cannot do that, you're going to lay on your bed and put your feet on the wall for this. But if you can get on the floor, everybody, I suggest getting on the floor. We're going to do abduction, adduction. I'm going to show you two different angles of this move. Again, if you're on the floor or on the bed, the floor is the best place to be. I will tell you that. You can do it sitting in a chair as well. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to place my feet on the wall. My legs are at 90 degrees. You want them to be at 90. You don't want to be too far away from the wall. You don't want to be too close to the wall. You want your hips directly underneath your knees. We're going to keep the feet spaced about 2 to 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches apart from each other. From the other angle, looks like this. So you can see it looks like I'm sitting in a chair. It's just that my back is on the floor. So you can get this done sitting in a chair. So we're going to keep the feet parallel. I'm going to drop my knees open and drop my knees in together to touch. And I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to get this done. But the key here, and this is the hard part, is keeping your feet parallel to each other. Your feet are going to want to evert, and they're going to do something like this. I don't want you guys to let them do that. I want you guys to keep your feet parallel. That's the key. So we're going to drop open and close. Don't even bother counting here. We're just doing this for 2 minutes. So as I drop open, the outside edges of both of my feet are on the wall. And as I come in, I am letting my knees touch together back and forth. Your feet might glide up the wall or glide down the wall. You want to keep your heels the same height as your knees, 90 degrees. Open, close, open, close. Keep on going, everybody. Yes, you can get this done laying on a bed. But you can also get this done sitting in a chair. For those of you who are not very creative, it'll look like this. Open, close. And that's the last time that I modify and show that, because that was creative, wasn't it? I know you guys can figure that out. I'm going to stay here for another minute. Open and close. Really want you guys to keep guiding this from your hips. That's where you want to engage from. It's where you want the move to initiate from, is the hips. This move is called adduction, abduction, because that's what's going on in the hips. We are adducting and abducting. In fact, it's turning into more of a rotation because we're keeping our feet still on the wall. So what's going on here is we are rotating the femur in the socket, in your hip socket. Our next move is a little bit more challenging, but again, it can be done seated. So just like I showed you doing this move, if you're sitting in a chair, if you can't lay down on a bed and put your feet on the wall, and you're going to get this done the same way as I just showed you. When we do it, we are going to hold 1 minute on each side. It's not an easy move, but you guys are going to love it or hate it. Okay, I'm going to show you from behind. This one is called assisted hip lift. I want you to keep your left leg on the wall. You're going to cross your right ankle to your left knee. Now, this might be tough for some of you to do. You might actually have to take your leg and place it on there. But when that happens, I don't want you to lift your left hip towards your ribs. So try not to twist. I'll show you what that looks like from the side. Now that you have the idea that I'm going for here, keep this away. So I'm at 90 degrees. I cross my ankle to my knee, but you don't want to lift the hip. See how I can contort my body and now my side is all lifted? I want you to stay still just as you were with both of your legs on the wall. So we're using that left leg to assist with that. That's why it's called assisted hip lift. So use your left foot, press it into the wall if you start feeling your hip lifting towards your ribs. I want you to keep your hip still. Now we're going to draw your right knee towards the wall. No hands, everybody. We're holding for 1 minute. You feel the stretch, you feel the work. That's the key in this move. We've done this move in the past without the assist. Without the assist, and boy, is it tough. So it's the same move, except we're not using the wall. So you're using the muscles in your hips to hold the hips in place, using the muscles of your abdomen, of your back to hold everything in place. It's a tough move. So this is a regressed form of the move, but that doesn't mean it's kind of wimpy, because there's a lot to say about this move. Do you feel it? You feel what's going on? Might feel your butt start turning on, the front of your hip, maybe in more of the crotch area turning on, the back of the leg on the left side. In fact, I feel some work going on in my feet. Does anybody feel foot muscles starting to cramp? You might feel all of the above. We're going to go to the other side. Just 1 minute, everybody. 1 minute each side. So my feet are placed parallel, knees over my hips. I'm going to bring my left ankle to my right knee. Again, as you draw your left knee towards the wall, do not contort the rest of your body. I don't want you to create that banana shape. You want to keep the pelvis in the same place it was when both of your feet were on the wall. Here we go. Use your right leg as an assist. That's why it's on the wall. You want to keep the pelvis in the same alignment that it was with both feet on the wall. Fantastic. About 20 more seconds, everybody. Keep using the hip muscles to draw your left knee towards the wall. Hope you feel that. A lot of things turning on, and these are just the first two moves. Our next move is similar to this. We're just going to add on to it. We're doing hip crossover stretch. Now, this can be done on the floor. That's where I'm doing it. I'll also show you a version that can be done sitting in a chair. I'm going to bring my arms out to a T. My feet come off the wall now. My feet are still parallel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to cross my right ankle to my left knee, just like I did in the other version of the move we did. Now I'm going to twist through my lower back. My legs start to fall to the left. Same idea here. I'm not letting my knee fall towards my chest. I'm pointing my knee towards the sky. I'll give you guys one more view of that. So when you cross your right ankle to your left knee, twist and hold 1 minute. If you cannot get this done on the floor, you can get this done sitting in a chair. Stay with it, everybody. This is just a modification for those of you who need the chair. So you're going to cross your ankle to your knee and you twist your upper body. Easy as pie. Easy as pie. Holding just for 1 minute, everybody. A little more than 30 seconds left. Hip crossover stretch. If you cannot go palms face down and that's really difficult for you to do, you can put your palms up. I like to go palms face down, keep the elbows nice and straight. I'm going to switch to the other side, everyone. Make sure you come back to the hook line position. So my feet are parallel. I'm starting out nice and straight. Good form, ankle to knee, twist. Try not to let your feet slide along the floor, even as you're coming into the twist. Your body is going to do crazy things to avoid work, and you might not even consciously notice it. So you really have to pay attention to your form. Do not let feet slide. Don't let legs slide. Consciously place the legs in good form and slowly come into the twist. Don't let things slide. We're doing a really nice hip and pelvis reset. Whether you're sitting in your chair or you're doing this on the floor, stimulating your hips and pelvis, reminding them what they need to be able to do. Pelvic tilts, nice and easy. We're just going to do 10 of them, coming into the hook line position. So your feet are parallel, your feet are in line with your hips, palms are up, my arms are relaxed. I'm rocking my pelvis back and forth all the way in each direction, all the way forward, all the way back, but I'm not lifting. This is not a bridge. I am not lifting. My lower back does come off the floor as I arch, and then you feel your head kind of pulls down the mat. And then as you go in the opposite direction, as you tuck, your lower back hits the floor. We're going to come into arm circles. Those of you that have been with me for a really long time, you know there's many different positions that you can do arm circles in. If you feel comfortable sitting in a chair and you don't want to get up today, that's on you, but you can do arm circles there. I am going to come into the kneeling position. You guys can come in any position you want, but if you're new to arm circles, I'm going to show you the hand position. I take fists and then I flatten my fists out. Stick my thumbs out. It's a really funny position. It's called a modified golfer's grip. That's the position for the hands that we're going to take. Now you can stand with your feet hip distance. You can sit on a chair. You can sit on the floor with your legs straight out, but I'm going to come to a kneeling position because I can, and I know it helps my posture. Take your grip, everybody, whatever position you're in. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bring your arms out to a T. Now you're going to circle up and forward 40 times. Relax your belly. Relax your belly. We are creating a protuberance through the torso by flapping our arms. One of my students used to call this arm flaps. Peggy will remember. She would call this arm flaps because that's what we're doing. But you want that protuberance to coordinate with your hips. And if you suck your gut in, everybody's got a gut. If you suck it in, it's not going to coordinate with it. It won't communicate. Palms go up, thumbs point back. Good. I could see you guys are okay with the arm circles. I had a few fears about that one, that somebody might not be okay with it. So if your shoulder hurts or if something isn't working, you could either do less, you can even lower the arms, or you could skip it. We'll be done in a few flaps. We're going to go 40 in each direction. Great, everybody. We're going to come to a standing windmill. You can get this done in a chair. I'd love it if you guys had a nice blank wall like this, but I've got the heater down here, so I actually can't use that wall the way I want to. We're doing standing windmill, so I'm going to imagine there's a blank wall behind me where I can put my back up against the wall. So be really creative here. Whether you're sitting in a chair or you got your imaginary blank wall, we're going to bring the arms out to a T. Again, if that hurts, just bring them lower. You can even put your hands on your waist if it's too much. I'm moving only through my waist. I dip over to the left and then over to the right. Keep your heels down. I'm only moving through my waist. A lot of people go wrong here as they slide their butt back and forth. No, only from your waist are you moving. Butt stays directly over your heels. Heels stay down. This move gets really tough on the arms. So if you need a break, do 2 of them. You don't have to do 10 like I'm doing. We're going to separate the feet even wider. This is not going to work for you people who are sitting on a chair. So just bear with me and keep on going. Back and forth. Think about the flat wall behind you or your imaginary flat wall behind you. Keep your thumb and your pinky grazing on that wall. My hands are nice and open. That's going to engage my shoulders in a new way. My feet are stanced about 1.5 to 2 feet wide. I am going to go further. I hope you'll come with me. So I'm going really wide now, everybody, really wide. It's about 3 feet wide because I can do it, but I'm still in control. Don't go the widest you can and then start to fall out. Stay in control, but we want to go a good width. My feet are parallel. Don't let them point out. Here we go. Our last position is our first position, which means we could use it as a bit of a functional test so we could see where we started and see what changed over the course of these exercises. So now check it out. What changed for you? Hopefully it got a little bit easier. Maybe you notice your heels don't want to lift so much. I hope your arms are burning. I'm gonna get that feeling of the body building. Just gonna get a little drink, sorry everybody. I'm gonna lay back into the hook line position. You don't have to lay down to get this one done. In fact, I've seen some people doing it in the seated position, so you can do this in a seated position. I want you guys to bring your block nearby because we're gonna do some work with the block, and we're also gonna do some work with your strap. So I'm gonna bring that strap nearby. Okay, so we're in the hook line position, which could also be a sitting position. So get creative if you can't get down onto the floor. I want you guys to squeeze your glutes. This is not an easy thing to do for some of you. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. You're gonna squeeze your butt cheeks together and let it go over and over and over and over again. Do not use your belly. If you're not even sure if you're using your belly or not, what I want you to do is to put your hands on your belly and check it out. Check it out. Am I using my belly? Gee, I don't know. This is not an abdominal exercise. If you notice, wow, I'm using my belly is squeezing while my butt's squeezing. That's a compensation. If that's happening to you, I want you to give less effort. This should not be an effortful exercise. This is a move for balance. If you have your hands on your butt and you notice nothing is happening at all, then you could do a little Band-Aid. You can extend your legs straight out on the floor and you could do your glute squeezes there. Most definitely something will start happening. Eventually, we want to be able to do glute squeezes in this position. We want to be able to access that muscle, or actually that muscle group. You want to be able to access it even when you're in this static back position. That's a harder position to get it in. Deep hip flexion is even harder to get. In fact, oh no, I have a little. I do have a little. So the deeper the hips bend, a lot of times the more difficult it is for access of that opposing muscle group. So we have to make sure we keep it in tip-top shape and we're able to access it. Still going, everybody. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Just the butt cheeks. Just the butt cheeks. Sorry, I was thinking of a funny story that happened to me this weekend. You know, I meet people and I can't help it but notice, wow, your posture's out. Oh, you had surgery? Oh, you're still in pain? You don't say. Well, let's check this and check that. Everybody hates me at garage sales. I'm nitpicking over everybody's posture. Okay, everybody, no more glute squeezes. I'm going to flip you over onto your belly and we're going to do prone ankle squeezes. This is not an easy exercise to do, to coordinate. It's a little tough. You can do it sitting in a chair. So if laying face down is not your thing, you can sit in the chair and put a block in between your ankles. You can lay on a bed and put a block in between your ankles. So I'm going to put the block between my ankles and then I'm going to lay down because I don't have anybody to help me. So take your pillow, put it between your ankles, whether you're sitting in a chair or laying down, either one will work. So I'm just going to rest with my head on top of my hands, but I am going to bend my knees. So if you did make it to the floor with me, I want you to bend your knees deeply, dorsiflex your ankles. Oops. Dorsiflex your ankles so we do not have Barbie toes. I do not want you guys to be in the ankle position of a ballerina. It's the opposite. And now squeeze your ankles and instep of your foot and your heels onto the block. It's the whole thing over and over and over again. We're going to do this for 2 minutes. But here's the but. There's always a but, right? Here's the but. If you don't feel this in your butt or in your hamstring, I want you to separate your knees a little bit wider. So that's going to be our little bit of caveat. Just like we did before where we couldn't feel our butt, or you might not have been able to feel your butt when you did the glute squeezes. So I had you straighten your knees. If this is happening to you here and you don't feel this work in your butt, we're going to separate the knees a little wider. So you're almost in a frog position while you're doing this. This is not a glute squeeze, everybody. This is not a glute squeeze. This is an ankle squeeze. But what should be happening is as you squeeze the ankles in, the glutes should be recruited. So don't cheat by trying to turn it into a glute squeeze. It's still an ankle squeeze. We just want to coax the body to be able to recruit the right muscles while it does it. This is a prone ankle squeeze. Squeeze and release over and over, everybody. This is not easy, especially if you have a pillow that you have to fold in half. I've been there. I've done that. It's not comfortable, but you get it done. Again, this can be done sitting in a chair, putting a pillow in between your ankles. Wow, my left hip needs a lot of work. I feel all of this in my ankle and my foot, in my calf. I'm not really feeling it so much by my hip. So later on, when I'm on my own and I let you guys go, I'm going to be coming back to this move because I know what my body should be doing. And I was just shown what it's not doing. So I need to work on that one for myself. So I hope you guys will take that page out of my book and do it as well. We're going to lay back down on our back and we're going to do knee pillow squeezes. This is going to get back into the hips again in another way. You can do this sitting in a chair. We're still in the hook line position, everybody. Yes, we're going to do that workout afterwards. You guys are going to hate me. You'll be okay. Okay. Last 2 minutes here. You're putting your pillow now in between your knees. I am in the hook line position, which is similar to just sitting in a chair. Similar. Not the same. I hope you guys can encourage yourselves to get down on the floor if you realize there's a difference between can't and won't. So if you choose and you have that choice to get onto the floor, You have somebody that can help you if you're afraid of being stuck on the floor. Maybe get on the couch instead of getting on the floor. Get on a bed. Do something. We need to make some progress. I hope that's why you're here, not because you want to stay the same, but because you want to change and you want to direct that change in the way that feels best to you. But direct it, guide your own change. Be the master, be the captain. One more minute. I'm just squeezing and releasing. This is old Thigh Master. Thank you, Thigh Master. Today, the workout that I have chosen is called the Break a Sweat workout. We're not quite there yet. We've got our strap nearby for a reason. We've got a few more moves to do, and we're going to do the Break a Sweat workout. I hope you guys have been taking the titles for these workouts that I'm giving you and maybe searching them on YouTube so you can listen to Pete give you the workout and give you the narration. I hope he's given you some more insight into what's going on in these moves and how much fun it can be relearning your body's signals. Maybe you can encourage some of your family to do it with you. Pete's a lot of fun, especially on these videos. He's very lighthearted. He even has workouts designed for the family. He's got kids doing it, and he's doing a lot of fun stuff. I really enjoy it. Okay, grab your strap, everybody. This move is not easy for everybody. Can be done sitting in a chair, yes. I'm going to take my strap, and I'm going to put it across the ball of one of my feet. I'm being really, really picky when I do this too. I'm putting it nice and evenly across the entire ball. And across the entire ball. So this is your strap, everybody. If your strap is too short and you can't hang on to it, then you could put your loop in your strap. And that'll make the strap that much longer. It depends on how long your legs are. I don't have to do that. And I like holding on to both sides of the strap. I'll just get a strap that's even longer if I need it because I want to be balanced. Okay, we're going to do the calf and hamstring stretch. It sounds so nice. It's not, because it's a lot of work. It's Egoscue style, which means there's work involved here. You're going to start out in the hook lying position, or if you can't do that, you're going to sit in your chair. Same idea. And we're going to bring both of your thighs parallel. And we're using the strap as an assist. Knee stays nice and straight. I want you to make your foot nice and pretty, so keep everything aligned by your own eye. Don't want anything twisted. Try to keep it as straight as you can. Now you're going to put 80% of the work in your leg and 20% of the work in the strap. So if I wanted to, I could actually let go of the strap and I'm still using my hip to hold my leg up. That's where this gets really, really hard. We're holding for 1 minute in each position. We've got 4 of them. We've got 4 of them, counting both legs. So it's 2 on each leg. Again, the alignment of the thighs is parallel for this first move. Parallel. Essentially, we're keeping the working leg at 45 degrees. 80% of the work in the hip. Keep your knee straight. This is really tough for one of my clients, the one I keep referring to, the one who's in the wheelchair. If she can do this stuff, you guys can do this stuff. If this is too much for you guys to do another exercise on the same leg, you're just going to switch your leg and repeat this exercise again. If you're ready to come with me, I'm going to slide the strap to the middle of my foot, and I'm going to come deeper into this move. Again, I'm using my hip muscles to do this. I'm putting my footprint on the ceiling. See how loose the strap is? Footprint goes on the ceiling using my hip muscles. I'm not pushing into the leg that's on the floor to get this done. That leg is pretty relaxed here. See, it's relaxed. Use your hip muscles to put your footprints on the ceiling. 1 minute. You can use the strap to pull just a little bit, but I want most of this to be done with your hip. So get it to that point where, whoa, that's as far as I can go. Okay, and use the strap to help you just a little bit. Knees stay straight. Again, if this is too much to do double work on the leg, just do that first exercise over on your other leg as a bit of a break. This is not an easy exercise. Come to think of it, this can also be considered part of the prep work for flutter kicks. I remember a few weeks ago, some of you guys had a hard time doing flutter kicks with me, had a hard time doing V-ups where we lifted both of the legs up in the air using hip action. This can also be a little strengthener for that. I can come a little further. Oh, and my minute's up. Okay, come on out, everybody. I'm going to my other leg. Our first exercise. Come on, button on my clock won't work here. There we go. Okay, make sure when you're doing it on the ball of the foot, the strap is coming across the entire ball of the foot. You don't want to be lazy on that one. There's a reason for it. My ankle is in dorsiflexion. It is not Barbie toes. It is not ballerina style. It's the opposite. I'm the ugly ballerina today. Again, see how loose I can hold this strap? That demonstrates to me I am using hip strength to hold my leg here. I hope you guys can do the same or close to the same. 80% of the work in the hip, 20% of it in the strap. Keep your knees straight. In fact, when I'm done here, I think I'm going to do this one again for myself because I feel a lot of this work in my quad and it's not quite creeping up to my hip where I want it to be. So I might do this work and hold for 3 minutes until it moves. Okay, our minute is up. Put the strap in the middle of the foot. Put your footprint on the ceiling. No pushing into the floor using your opposing leg. That's a cheat. 1 minute. This move is called the calf and hamstring stretch. But as you can feel, this is way more than just a silly stretch. This is engagement. This is realignment. This is requiring function. This is restoring function of your hip. We're trying to access hip flexor, especially by keeping the knee straight, because once the knee bends, you guys hear me say it a million times, when the knee bends, the hip starts to shut down. That's our compensation. So you want to keep the knee straight, then come into the move using the hip. We want to put all that leverage on the hip. Big muscles there. We've got to wake them up and restore their function. Lovely. All right. Come on out. You can set your little gizmos aside for now. We are going to do the break a sweat workout. If you don't like my voice, you can go ahead and turn me off. You can go to the YouTube video for Pete Agoscu break a sweat workout. You can look that up on YouTube. We're going to start out with a hang. We're going to do that for 1 minute. This is probably the easiest move in the whole workout. The rest of it is tough. So you're going to see me bleed. I'm going to keep the feet hip distance, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to turn this into just a regular old hang. I'm not going to make you do the Agoscu style hang where you keep your hips right over your toes. So we're going to keep this as a normal hang. Just keep your feet straight ahead. Go ahead and hang over. I'm going to hang out here for 1 minute. If you need help, maybe put your hands onto a chair or something. But I want to get you to the point where you can bear your own weight just hanging over yourself. Wow. My quadriceps on the one side is just, it's so tired. So I'm off balance. I am certainly hanging symmetrically, but my muscles have been off balance. You can see that the one is shaking. The other one, not so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you into something called a walkout. This is not easy to do for those of you who cannot get down onto the floor. So your modification is you're going to walk your hands out to your couch instead of walking down to the floor. You can also walk yourself out to a counter. So you can place your hands on a counter and you can walk yourself back. Drop your shoulder blades together and walk yourself forward. You can put your hands on a couch. Maybe something as low as this. It's down to you guys. And you could walk yourself back. Whoops, it's sliding, and walk yourself forward. Use something that doesn't slide. For me, I'm going to hit the floor. So if you're going to come with me, we're going to do 1 minute of walkouts. Keep your feet pointed straight ahead. Keep your knees as straight as you can. Walk yourself out to your plank position. Drop your shoulder blades together and walk yourself back to your toes. Again, if that is too much to bear that load on your shoulders, put your hands on a counter. Walk yourself back. You don't have to put all that load on your shoulders. Maybe you got a shoulder injury. I was there too. I'm keeping my knees straight though. Keep your knees straight. Not easy to do. Drop the shoulder blades together. So it's like a static extension position once we come to the plank. These are called walkouts. I am pausing once I get to my plank position. I'm letting my shoulders remember. Okay, you need to remember to load, and I'm giving them that chance to do so. I am going to stay here. I'm going to show you what we're doing next. It is mountain climbers, and I'm going to do 20 of them. Again, just like the walkouts, you guys can do it with your hands either on a windowsill, like I showed you, or a counter, or on a chair, or on a table. My mountain climbers look like this. They're on the floor in the plank position. Whatever position you choose, you must think about your back leg coming straight. This is a movement to help restore hip function. So if you keep your knees bent, it's not going to work. So I'm going to go slowly and pause. There's my one. You see how my back leg stays straight? I do this drop, drop into the hip, switch, drop, switch, drop. You can step and drop. Again, to modify, you might put your hands on a windowsill, step forward, drop, step forward, drop. You want to get into the hip area. I'm going to bang out 20 of these. If you're on the floor with me or standing up, keep your feet in line with your hips. Don't let the knees go out. Stay in that line. In fact, I'm going to do it right here for you. Here I go. 20. You guys do it with me. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Knee stays straight in the back leg. That was 20. You might have gone slower. You might have gone faster. If you did, awesome. Awesome. Side crabs are next. Ooh, these are not easy. These are not easy. Side crabs. We're going to place yourselves with your butt on the floor, your hands behind you, and your feet forward. We're lifting. Not easy for me to do. But if you need to modify, maybe you're sitting in a couch. You might sit in a couch, put your hands behind you, and just lift up a little. There's your modification. Lift up. Want to walk with me? You can. We're going to do 1 minute side crabs. Just like you did in school. Lift. Come sideways. Oh, I knew this would be hard for me, but I'm doing it anyway. So left shoulder after that surgery. Oh, it's tight and it's weak. Wow, my hips used to come a lot higher, but that shoulder is not helping. We got to strengthen it. So keep going, everybody. Keep your hips as high as you can. Do what you can. Whoa. So Kim's shoulder's a little weak. Still going for it. If this is bothering your wrist, maybe do like what I just showed you with the modification. Put your hand on the couch and just lift your hips. So the lower your hands go, the more weight is going to go on them. Keep that in mind. Wow, I'm twisted. Hey, 1 minute's done. Okay, next one. We're doing some jumping jacks. If you need to modify, jumping jacks are so easy to modify. So easy. Here's your modified jumping jack. Oh, isn't that easy? There's a modified jumping jack. When you do your jumping jacks Egoscue style, I'd like you to keep your feet parallel. So when you open up, feet stay parallel. If you can, when your hands come up, ooh, left side's weird for me, but try to go for that clap. And when you come back together, hands at your sides. You know how to modify now? 1 minute, here we go. Again, you modifiers out there, you're just doing a tap. One leg, other leg. Go as slow as you need to. My clap overhead used to be awesome. Not anymore. Relax, everybody. Whew. I'm gonna get a sip of water. Thank you. Air bench is next. We're gonna hold it for 1 minute. Air bench, find a wall, find a door. Either one will suffice. If you use the door, make sure the door is in the closed position and that you're not leaning on the integrity of the lock to hold the door. You want the door to be pushed into the jamb. I love jam. You're gonna walk the feet out further than your knees. Slide down the wall till you feel, ooh, that's a little bit of work. Push your lower back into the wall. 1 minute. I hope you have your heart rate up, everybody. That is the point. Hope you feel some sweat. From the other direction, I want you to see, because there might be some new people out there. My hips are the base of alignment. Hips, knees, ankles stay in line with my hips. It's a little bigger than my fist between my knees and my big toes. My lower back is in the wall. I'm using the muscles in my legs, my quadriceps, right here on the front. That's where you should be feeling it, using those muscles to push my lower wall flatter and flatter and flatter into the back. My lower wall into the back. Did you hear what I said? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm a simpleton. Simpleton today. Spidermans are next, everybody. Spidermans are also not the easiest, but there's a modification. It's all about getting the hip to work. So if you want, you can place your hands on the door, not the door jamb, the window jamb, and you can step forward, forward, back, back. You can do the same thing on a chair. I'm gonna go all the way down to the floor though, of course. That's where Kim goes. So if you place your hands on the chair, want to step as close to your hands as you can, just to the outside of your hands. The point of this move is to get the hips low, get the hips low. And I want you to be really aware of which leg steps first, because you're going to stay with that and then switch it mirror image. We're going to go 1 minute. Spidermans, I'll show you different camera angles. So I step right, left, keep it low, right, left. Next time I go left, right, keep it low, left, right. Other camera angle. Keep going with me, everybody. Left, right, hips low. So it's like a malasana squat for those of you who do yoga. Right, left, Don't worry too much about your feet being parallel. It'll get there eventually. Even if it doesn't, who cares? We're awakening the hips. Keep your hips low. Can't get that low? Put your hands on a chair. Or just be okay with where you're at. See how wide I am? I'm super wide, way wider than my hands. That's okay. Relax, ladies and gentlemen. Spidermans are done. Free squat next. Free squat is similar to our air bench, except instead of pushing our back flat, we're going to keep an S curve in the spine. Think of it like sitting knee pillow squeezes. So you want to keep the pelvis in an anterior tilt. So let me just demonstrate. This is my pelvis in a posterior tilt, right? The slouch. We're going to come in the opposite direction with just the pelvis. It holds there in our free squat. Okay. So from the side, feet are hip distance, point straight ahead. I'm going to bring my arms out in front of me like a Frankenstein monster. And I'm going to squeeze my shoulders back and down. Think of the S curve in your spine. We're going to hold for 1 minute. Tilt the pelvis, squat. That's it. This is our free squat. I love to focus on the pelvis. I've seen some people, and I think even if you look for this routine on YouTube, you'll see the demonstrator do a squat like this. So she's doing a lot of flexing from her spine. I think Pete even points that out. So I want to get this to come into my hips best I can. Not a bad thing if you rest your chest on your thighs, but it's not what we're going for. Try to keep pulling that anterior tilt from your groin area. Our next move is flutter kicks. Flutter kicks, and you guys can do them sitting in a chair. You can do them on the floor like me. I don't care where you do them. You can do them in the house. You could do them with a mouse. Flutter kicks are not easy because it's a lot of leverage on your hips. So do the best you can. If you cannot do both legs up off of the floor, then you're going to do one leg at a time. Here's a modification for your flutter kicks. Even if you're sitting in a chair, one leg, other leg, one leg, other leg. That's the easiest I could give you. But I'm going to go full out flutter kicks, 30 seconds. I'm keeping my knees straight. Both of my legs stay in the air. Heels do not touch the ground for me. Every 10, I'm changing the position of my ankles. You can do this in a chair. You don't have to do this on the floor. Good, flutter kicks are done. I'm gonna have you guys flip over. We're gonna do hands and knees static extension position. Those of you that wanna go deeper, you can do a plank if you want to. I'm gonna show you a static extension. Static extension can be done. Ew, sweating all over this thing in my ear. It can be done against the wall. Modification, if you can't get the hands and knees, you're gonna place your hands on the wall, feet straight ahead, right underneath your hips. Lean in using your shoulders so the shoulders come back and down. On the floor, it's a lot harder. So I start on my hands and knees. I'm actually gonna move my hand 6 inches forward. So I put my palm where my fingertips are, and then I shift my weight forward and drop my shoulder blades together. Belly falls to the floor like a sway back horse. We're gonna hang out here for 1 minute. Let the head drop. If you feel a lot of this in your lower back in a bad way, more than likely you've walked your hands way, way, way too far forward. I want you to bring your hands back until you feel the lower back turns off. If your elbows want to bend and you're having a hard time keeping them straight, You're going to stance your hands out wider. Just go wider with your hands, wider apart from each other. And that'll help to fix the situation. I did say that we weren't going to start out with an easy move like static back today, but we can certainly finish with a couple of minutes static back. Come on out, everybody. Ah. Okay. I want you guys to grab your static back block. We usually start out with this move. Today, we are finishing with this move, and you'll get a great chance to feel how your body ends up after this alignment sequence. Guys have been with me for a while. You know how your body starts out in static back. You've probably taken static back many times during the day. Hey, I just need a static back. So you know what it feels like. You go, oh, yep, there's that one side in the floor, the other side not. So now as we hang out here for a minute, you might notice, things feel different after an alignment sequence or a workout. We missed the last few moves in that sequence. I think there was a downward dog. There might have even been donkey kicks. If you want to find that and get it narrated to you by Pete and see some other person doing it, that was the Break a Sweat workout. Just search that on Google, the Egoscue workouts. You'll see like 75, 80 workouts on there. Maybe you'll see something that you like better than this. Check it out. There's plenty of free stuff online. I stay here just a bit longer because it feels so darn good. And we've got the time. Oh, forgot to tell you. So if you're laying down on your back and you notice that your head is pointed behind you on a wall behind you, definitely use something to put underneath your head. You want your face to be parallel to the ceiling until the rest of the tissues and musculature in your shoulders, back, and hips start to dictate to the head to change position. So it's all right to have a pillow here. That's the reason why you would want a pillow here until the body starts to change enough so that you don't require the pillow anymore. Now 30 more seconds, everybody. Just breathe with me. Okay, friends. That was your realignment sequence for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I also hope you guys enjoyed getting a little break of sweat workout in there. Really important to keep your pores nice and clean. Meet me next week. I'll be here same time, same place. Thank you very much, Levittown Library. And thank you all.